All right, last topic, y'all. This is not gonna be long. I just kind of wanted to uh kind of get into the WNBA because I mean it's one more game. Game 7's tomorrow for the finals NBA. We still got a little while before football preseason starts. So WNBA is going. I mean, I'm watching it already, enjoying it. But everybody might not be watching, so I kind of want to get y'all caught up. But before we get into some of the basketball part of it, I guess we got to get into the drama because there's a lot of drama around the WNBA, right? Starting with, of course, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But before we get to them, my girl, I forgot who she played for, McCautry. Man, I like McCautry. Man, I always like that game. She didn't play for Connecticut. She didn't play for. Did she play for Tennessee? I think McCautry played for Tennessee back when Pat Summitt was there. One of my favorite players. I like McCautry. But she was on the podcast, and she said something about the WNBA I thought was interesting. I'm gonna play it for y'all.
If Hailey Van Lith had 10,000 followers, would she be in the league? Just from her talent right now, would she be in the league if she only had 10,000 followers? If there was another girl out here who was just as talented as Hailey Van Lith.
Deja Kelly is good enough to be in the league. I think Deja Kelly is better than Hailey Van Lith.
What players have to do, since we're in a different time, you have to go to marketing classes. How do I get my engagement up, my following up, so that even though I know I'm just as good as this player, but she got more following, or I'm even better, I got to get my following up so this political thing they do, it ain't going to affect me. It's clout. It's kind of like, I'm going to give y'all an example. One of my favorite singers, I went to his concert. This was before Vegas won the championship. I'm not even gonna put his name out there. No, I had knew him from playing in Atlanta.
It was Usher, wasn't it? It was Usher.
Okay,
it was Usher,
I ain't saying no names. I'm like, yo, come to a game. He said, oh man, I gotta go to LA and record. As soon as I'm not on the team now, because like I heard they didn't bring me back. You online? Oh, Asia Wilson, I gotta come to a game. You at the game next week? I know I invited you to a game. So it's clout. So guess what, girls? Since they want clout, give them the clout. Play the game. Boost yourself. Boost that following. Give them some clout. Get into it. What did you say, that fake article shit?
Get Centel.
Centel your motherfucking self. It's not based off your talent no more. Let's keep it real. You can be as good as you want to be. You don't have to follow, you're not in.
Truth of the matter is Clark.
Okay, so that was McCautry, and somebody said I got it wrong with her playing for Tennessee. It was Louisville. You're right about that. I think she won a championship with them. I'm not sure. But yeah, I like her, man. She's a hooper. But yeah, so that's one part of the WNBA that's going on right now, is that it's a popularity contest right now. Even with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the most marketed player, most talked about player, and it's not based on her being the best player, right? When Michael Jordan was the best player and the most talked about and the most marketed player, it all matched, because if your most marketed and talked about player is the best player, then that makes a whole lot of sense, right? And it works because eventually they're going to win more ball games. They're going to win rings, win championships, and everything's going to be validated. All the attention that he was getting was validated because he was the best player. But all the attention that Caitlin is getting is going to be very hard to validate because there's like probably 10 girls better than her. She's a very good player. She's an all-star. She'll be an all-star probably every year. All right. So she's always going to be, if they pick 10 players per all-star team, she's always going to be a top 20 player until she retire probably. Right. So that's not a problem. It's easy for her to be top 20, but when it's 10 girls better than you, but you're the one that's getting the most attention, you know, that the league is going to have some issues because now if your most talked about players are getting put out in the first round, second round, and not really making deep playoff runs, then what do? Right? Are you going to start rigging games so they can go far so it can make sense? Especially if you sign with Nike. Nike put a lot of pressure on these leagues. Like I'm invested all this money in this player, and y'all making her look bad because she's getting whooped. She's getting beat. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of politics come to play in. And I don't like her example of Hailey Van Lith. I think Hailey Van Lith just caught a huge stray that she didn't even deserve, because I really do think that her game is good enough to be in the league. So, I mean, she definitely would have got drafted. She would have got drafted after her first or second year when she was at Louisville, before she even went to LSU or wherever school she went to after LSU. So she was that good. I mean, she went to the Olympics. You know, she won. Did she win gold as a 3-on-3 first year time during the 3-on-3 tournament? She won gold. Like, she can hoop, she can ball. She's tenacious. She got a jump shot, but she is dating an NBA basketball player, Jalen Suggs. That relationship's public. She's a pretty girl, right? She get a lot of attention on social media. She twerks. She dragging a wagon. You know what I mean? Pretty blue eyes, blonde hair. She's a pretty girl. So of course she's going to get a lot of attention. So what she's saying is that without all of that clout that she has on social media, she wouldn't be in the league. I don't agree with that. I think she can hoop. Now, there is girls that's not in the league that's probably better than her. I agree with that part. There's some girls that got cut because it's really the money ain't coming in like they wanted to come in for you to be able to sign everybody. So it's a lot of first round draft picks that go to a team and they end up getting cut because, look, we got vets on here that we can use more than we can use you. And we can't afford to just have someone learning on the bench and making good money. Right. So a lot of girls are getting cut. They can actually hoop. Right. So that part of it is true. So that's one of the things you got to know about the WNBA when you get into it, is that you're going to hear a lot of names and see a lot of faces. And if you're new to the league, you're going to think that those names you're hearing are the best that they got to offer. And it's not really true. You have to actually get down and check these girls out to see who the best really is. Right. Caitlin Clark. That's another name that you're going to hear a lot for good reason. The girl got an exciting version of basketball she plays because she shoot a lot of deep threes and she shoot it unconsciously. She can play. She feisty. She plays to the crowd and all that good stuff, man. So that you hear her name. But what recently happened with her, well, we all know what happened last season. We already know that she had the entire media behind her, pushing her agenda, saying that all the girls was jealous of her. All the hard fouls and the tough defense against her was based on jealousy. Like, just playing very good defense on Caitlin Clark would get the entire media, mind you, the media that just started watching the WNBA last year, they're coming in like, oh, those girls are jealous. I've never seen a girl get fouled like that. And it's just footage of girls getting fouled like that all over the place, especially when Candace Parker was a rookie. There was an entire brawl with Detroit. And I think, and the crazy thing about this, she was playing for the Sparks, LA Sparks, being coached by Michael Cooper, who's an LA Laker, playing against the Detroit. What was the Detroit team back then? They need to bring that team back. But Detroit, I forgot the name of that team. But they was playing for the Detroit team that was coached by Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn. So you had two Detroit bad boys coaching the Detroit. Was it Detroit Shock? I think it was Detroit Shock, coaching the Detroit Shock team, and a Michael Cooper Showtime Laker coaching the LA Sparks, right? And then you got this rookie sensation in Candace Parker, who came in and won MVP as a rookie, but she came in and was hooping, and the attention that Caitlin Clark was getting now, Candace Parker was getting the attention like that in the WNBA, not up to that magnitude as far as the social media following and all of that support. But for the people who was paying attention to the WNBA then, she was a big focal point because in Tennessee, she was dunking in college. She won a dunk contest coming out of high school against boys. She hooped. She won championships with Pat Summitt at Tennessee. She was just unstoppable. So she get drafted by the Sparks, playing alongside Lisa Leslie, and she was getting in a lot of tassels, and it was a huge brawl, almost like the Malice in the Palace type fight. Cheryl Ford, which is Karl Malone's daughter, she tore her ACL during the fight. The fight was huge. Go Google it. Go look it up. The fight was huge, but Candace Parker was getting, she was getting beat up all season and still won MVP. right? So it's not the first time we've seen Caitlin Clark go through this, or player in the WNBA go through this type of rookie attention, right? So don't believe that. But now people are actually starting to see Caitlin Clark for what she really is. Every time a black girl fouled Caitlin Clark, they said it was jealousy and racism. It took for white girls to do the same thing to her for people to actually see it for what it really is. So here's Outkick the Coverage, one of the platforms that supported Clark the most and called Angel Reese every name in the book except the child of God and all of these things. Now they're starting to see Caitlin Clark for what she really is.
Flopped. Clark flopped her ass off. Technical foul on Mabry, right. That's it. No ejection. Good. See, referees suck in the WNBA. They're DEI hires and they're awful. But one thing that they did understand was, well, Caitlin Clark's a flopper. Caitlin Clark is a flopper. I'm supposed to call it a joke. No, but I won't do that. I thought they handled it absolutely perfectly. I did. I thought Mabry handled it perfectly. I thought that the girl Sheldon handled it perfectly. And I thought Clark did what Clark does. Flop, instigate, then run away. That's what she does. I mean, people can get mad about it, and I know she's the holy grail for everything, including our show, but I got to tell you, that's what she does.
He said that's what she does. Flop, instigate, and run away. That's really what she does. She agitate everybody. She flops. She runs away when the smoke comes, and then the next morning you get an entire ESPN network and all of these other podcasts like Outkick the Coverage and all these other things that'll come up and protect her and call everybody jealous and call everybody racist and do all of these things and it don't be true, but you know, if you say a lie long enough and enough times, then people start to believe it and it becomes the truth in a lot of people's eyes. But now people are starting to see it for what it really is. And it took for her to get into it with two girls that looked like her. There was no black girls involved. And now the people that was always protecting her, now once it's two white individuals, they're looking at it for what it really is. Not jealousy, not all this other stuff, not racism. They're just, look, man, Caitlin Clark, you got to stop flopping. No, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's flopping. Here's somebody else talking about it.
Clark. I might go against everybody on this one. She is an amazing player. She is an awesome player, but she is an absolute flopper.
Yep.
She is a flopper, an embellisher. She talks. Mm-hmm. She's on camera last night saying, I can do whatever the fuck I want to somebody.
Yep.
And then she gets lightly pushed a couple times. I would put Caitlin Clark's ability to fall at the slightest touch up there with any GOAT ever. When she got pushed last night, nobody falls like that. She falls with her whole body. That's what that's why I think she's a drama queen. I think she's a great player, but she flops. Caitlin.
See, I mean, people are calling it out for what it really is, and it's the same people that was protecting her last year, right? But it's a little bit different now. So that's one thing. Caitlin Clark is not even a top 10 player. I mean, it's debatable. She probably is in the top 10, but I can easily name Nafisa Collier, Asia Wilson, who both was the 1 and 2 in the MVP race last year. I think Paige Beckers is as a rookie is better than Caitlin Clark. I think Skylar Diggins is still better than Caitlin Clark. I think name some other guards. Not Jackie Young. I think Caitlin Clark is better than Jackie Young. I think this girl's name is on the tip of my tongue. Lord. I think Jewel Lord is better. That's 5. I think Brianna Stewart, that's 6. I think Kelsey Plum, that's 7. I think Anescu, that's 8. So easily I can get 8 girls. So I'll probably put Clark at maybe 9 or 10. I'll probably put Clark at 9 or 10. So but that's going to start going down as players are getting better. I think Clark might be at her peak. I think she just got to sustain this as long as possible. I don't see more of a ceiling for her, for her to go. I do see that for Paige. Paige is going to be phenomenal. What else is going on? Let's talk about the standings. Liberty 10-2. They lost to the Fever. Caitlin Clark came back, and that's when she hit that 6 or 7 threes that game. That was her first game back from her hamstring injury. She exploded on them. They done lost 2 straight, I think, but they started out 9-0. They're 10-2 now, and then the Dream is 9-4. Those are the top teams in the East. And then the Fever is playing 500 basketball, and everybody under her, the Fever in the East, is playing below 500 basketball. But I think the top teams that are real contenders are the Liberty and the Dream. I don't think the Fever are real contenders, but they're like number 2 in ticket sales and or attendance at their home games, which is interesting because if you look at the West Coast, the expansion team, the Golden State Valkyries, they're also 6-6, surprisingly, as an expansion team, right? And they didn't even get the number 1 draft pick. I thought the WNBA would have gave them Paige as a gift to, so their expansion team can start off good, but they wasn't eligible to get the number 1 pick. They could only get like a expansion draft. So they pick some players off some unprotected players, right? So that's how they do. They do the expansion draft, and I think the WNBA was able to protect 6 players on their roster, maybe 7 players on their roster that couldn't get drafted, but the bottom if they got a 12-man roster, the bottom 5 could be selected for draft, right? So they got a bottom 5 player from each team in the expansion draft of their pick, and they got a 6-6 record. They just beat the Fever the other night pretty bad. Clark only had 9 or 10, or she had 9 or 11 points, and she was 0 from 7 from 3, and they guarded her to go right the entire game, so she couldn't get to her step back 3, and that was very effective, right? So so that team is surprisingly good at 6-6. But then above that, you got the Minnesota Lynx, who just lost their first game recently. They started out 9-0 as well, just like the Liberty did. So they're 11-1. And then you got the Storm. I don't have a good opinion about them yet because I haven't watched them play a full game. So they could be a contender in Seattle, but definitely the Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx, right? So that's one of the storylines as well. You got 2 teams doing real good in the East and 2, possibly 3 teams doing real good in the West. The MVP ladder for me is easily Nafisa Collier in Minnesota. This girl is averaging 26 points a game, which is the best in the league. She's top 5 in blocks, top 5 in steals, top 5 in rebounds. She got Defensive Player of the Year last year. Am I still breaking up, Thomas? She got Defensive Player of the Year last year. Oh, did my sound go out? Hold on. Let me check. Can y'all hear me? Test. Can y'all still hear me? Okay, I'm good now. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so my pick for MVP so far is the Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. She's number 1 in scoring, averaging 26 a game. She's top 5 in rebounds, top 5 in blocks, top 5 in steals. I gotta go check to see what she is in assists though. But that's just showing you that she's an elite scorer and an elite defender. Other evidence that she's an elite defender is she got Defensive Player of the Year last year, and she was number 2 in the MVP race behind Aja Wilson. So imagine being an elite scorer, the best scorer in the league, and also the best defender in the league. We ain't seen that since Michael Jordan. Right. So this is what Nafisa, that's the type of season she's doing on top of being the best team in the league. So she's got the best record in the league. She's outscoring everybody and she's defending at an elite level. she's easily number one for the MVP. Unfortunately, the reigning MVP in Asia Wilson, they made some trades. They got rid of Kelsey Plum. They bought in Jewel Lord, but they can't seem to get her to fit in, and this team ain't playing and performing up to par. And Asia Wilson had a concussion, so she missed like 3 straight games. So I don't know if they'll ever get back on track, but she's been a top person for MVP for the last 3 or 4 years. She already got 3 MVPs. She might even got 4. I'm not even sure, but she's got so many MVPs. But this year might be the first year she's not in the top 3. Like, I don't have Asia Wilson in my top 3 for MVP right now. So it's definitely Nafisa at 1. And at number 2, I'm probably going to go with Ionescu for the New York Liberty at 2. And then 3, I haven't decided yet because I still have to go and look and see what's going on with the Atlanta Dream, because Alicia Gray is balling out for them. And I also got to go see what they're doing over in Seattle, because Dominque and Skylar Diggins are there. So I got to watch the Dream play more, and I got to watch the Mercury and the Storm play more to see who my top candidates is. Of course, Caitlin Clark is getting a lot of buzz because she's averaging 22 points. She was the number 1 in assists at 9.2 assists, but then I think she got surpassed by what's the point forward that plays for, I think she played for the Mercury now. What's her name? Alyssa Thomas. She plays point forward kind of like Draymond, and she's averaging 9.3 assists. So she's number 1 now, but Caitlin's number 2 in assists. So she's 9 assists a game, 22 points, and I think she's getting 6 rebounds, maybe 7 rebounds. And we already know that people's brains short circuit when they see a triple double or anything close to a triple double. So people will see the almost triple double average for Caitlin Clark at 22, 6, and 9. They'll see an almost triple double and automatically ignore defense and automatically ignore the fact that her team is playing 500 basketball, and they'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams out of 12 better than hers, which put her at number 6, and it's only 13 teams. So you're a middle of the pack team, and people want to reward you with the MVP because of the triple double numbers. So I wanna caution people for that, because my MVP ladder is going to come out once I start watching some more games. I'm going to come out with my first MVP ladder. As a matter of fact, I think I got my last MVP ladder from last year. Let me see if I can pull up my MVP ladder from last year. Did I delete it? Yeah, I deleted it. Sheesh. I could have showed y'all. I got my one from the NBA, but I don't have my one for the WNBA. But this might have been, this wasn't last year. This was year before last. I think Jokic won it that year. This is probably one of my first weeks. What is this one? Yeah, that's pretty much the same one. But yeah. I'll come out with my MVP ladder for sure. And we'll definitely have some conversations surrounding the WNBA and the MVP ladder and all that stuff, man. But that's it, man. I just wanted to kind of update y'all on that. I'm gonna end the stream. This has been a long one. Thomas said, did you see Fees dominate Stewie in that one-on-one time? Fees nasty, dog. Fees is nasty. I want y'all to think about this. This girl played at the MVP level last year. She lost to Asia Wilson. She was number 2 in voting, but she won Defensive Player of the Year. Right? I honestly think Asia could have got Defensive Player of the Year and MVP last year. But they split the baby. So they gave it to Fees. But this girl played at the MVP level and the Defensive Player of the Year level all last year and got all the way to the finals. Lost to New York Liberty. I think Minnesota had that finals won. I know they wish they still they had that one won. I don't know how they lost that one, but they lost it. So she got all the way to the finals. In between the season, she played in the Olympics. Very key in the Olympics and winning gold. So she had WNBA season, a break, playing the Olympics, come back, pick up the season again, long playoff run, losing the finals, and then went straight into the league called Unrivaled, which she co-started. And then she handled the business side of it, went on a promotional tour on all types of podcasts and platforms promoting the season before it started, and then played in the season, and then played in one-on-one tournaments, and then rolled right into this season and ain't missed a beat. Like, think about that. And I think she just had a baby a couple of years ago too. So she's a young mother with a young child. She's doing a lot. She's doing a lot, man. And for us not to know her name for real, that's insane. Somebody said, can he call in? I didn't think people wanted to call in on WNBA, but I opened the phone lines up. I opened it up for 1 or 2 calls. Yeah, we can do that. And then I can end the show. B-New, what's good? Caught you live. Yeah, no doubt. I'm glad you did. Sean said Paige is good, but not on Caitlin's level. In what way? And that goes down to how we see the game. That's gonna go down to how we see the game. Like, I might say that Caitlin is not on Paige's level, and my evidence for why she's not is going to be all film work. But your evidence for why she is might just be the stats. You know, so we might view it different. Sean, caller, what's good?
Yo, bro, this is me, man.
Who is this?
It's Sean.
Oh, what's good? What's good, Sean? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Thank you for talking about LeBrick and also the ring culture discussion. That was absolutely disingenuous. Coming from him. As far as like the WNBA, I agree that NC is going to be MVP. But bro, I get it, man. I get it. But Caitlin Clark not being at number 10. I'm not saying
once I redid it, I got it at 8 or 9.
Oh man, no, that's fair, man. But like, I get it, man. I get that people hate the hype about her and all. But here's the thing, though, man. We gotta blame us, man. If more of us actually support the WNBA, you will not see Caitlin Clark like that.
Maybe not, man. I mean, it's so many.
Maybe not. Come on, man. We used to roast the WNBA even around the time when Lisa left.
I didn't roast it.
Well,
listen. when I was in North Carolina and Charlotte Sting had a team, and I think their best player, what was her name? Was it Stinson? She won number 32. I went to them games. I went to more Charlotte Sting. I went to more Charlotte. Yeah, but I went to more Charlotte Sting games than I went to Charlotte Hornets games.
Well, that's an exception.
Yeah, but so let me tell you what happened to the WNBA. Because I still remember when they first started the league, there was a lot of promotion. Their games was on NBC, and we know NBC know how to do basketball. There was a lot of promotion for it. I never forget, man. In North Carolina, I mean, it was T-shirts all over the place, man. It was commercials everywhere about the WNBA, and they was marketing Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo. I think Rebecca Lobo had just won at UConn, and she was like a great UConn player. And then you had Lisa Leslie. I mean, she was not as young as Lobo, but you know, she was young enough. So they was the two players that was getting marketed. That was the first game that was played that I seen. I think one was Lisa was in LA. Rebecca was in what was Rebecca at? New York? Was she in New York? I think here it was 2 big cities. Right. So they did a good job marketing, and there was a lot of buzz. If you go back and look at the statistics that they show as far as ratings and attendance, You notice they never say this is the first that we've ever had these numbers. They say this is the first since, right? And
I get that.
Hold on. Let me finish.
We're not talking.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So the numbers that we were seeing as far as ratings existed when the league first started, and those ratings sustained. Here's the mistake that the WNBA made. When their contract was up with NBC, somebody had the bright idea that we want to take the WNBA basketball and we want to put it on the women's network channel. They put it on Lifetime. They signed their they signed their second contract with Lifetime instead of with NBC. I don't know if that's because NBC didn't want them, but from what I remember, they said, they was the way Lifetime was advertising it is that women's basketball belongs on a women's network. And they took it and put it on Lifetime, and they went to Lifetime and died.
Okay, you give me on this. I didn't even know that.
Yes, that's what happened.
Knowledge.
Google it what year they went to Lifetime. That's the year they died. And I remember I was watching all the WNBA games. I mean, you couldn't tell me watching Cynthia Cooper with the Houston Comets and Cheryl Swoops and not Lisa Leslie, but Tina Thompson. It was a three-headed monster. They were unstoppable. There was a dynasty. It was so exciting. And when they went to Lifetime, I couldn't even find the games. They wasn't even advertising them. They wasn't even advertising the games, dog. It would just come on like any Lifetime movie. I seen a Lifetime movie called Chasing the Dragon, where this white woman she got on crack and she was playing Dungeons and Dragons in sewers and giving that coochie up for drugs. I seen that on Lifetime. That was crazy. Right after Chasing the Dragon went off, the daggone WNBA game came on. I said, man, look at this nonsense. I didn't even know the game was on tonight. I'm watching Chasing the Dragon, and here come the daggone WNBA game. No advertising whatsoever. No theme music, nothing. It was almost like one of them low budget corn videos where as soon as you put the cassette tape in and push play, they already having sex. That's what it was like. As soon as the game come on, it was jump ball. I said, golly, there wasn't no introduction.
Damn.
No theme music. None of that. How you put the game on after Chasing the Dragon? Hey, y'all think I'm making this stuff up, man? Look up that movie, Chasing the Dragon. Hey, nah. I can't make this up, man. Look up the movie Chasing the Dragon on Lifetime. And then look up what year they went to Lifetime. I'm not making none of this up, though. All this is facts, dog. All this is facts. Soon as it came on, it was like jump ball. I say, golly, jump ball already? Low budget. They did them an injustice, man. So that's what happened to the WNBA. It's an exciting game, though.
That's crazy. I mean, thank you for the insight, and the details are kind of crazy. I'm not gonna front. It's like,
hey, I'm full of details though, man. That's how I talk. I talk with details, man.
Jeez, I can't even say nothing else. I wanted to say something else, but
yeah, see, but this things ESPN won't tell you or talk about, and definitely not these new Caitlin Clark fans who never watched the game. That think that she the best thing since sliced bread. They won't tell you that either.
I never said that Caitlin Clark is like the best player yet. I mean, she's going to have to improve her game. I mean, she got to, fix up with those turnovers and also be more versatile when it comes to her offense. But I mean, to say, she's top 10, it's like not saying she's top 10. It's kind of like, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's not though. I mean, it's a basketball evaluation based on observation and not based on stat reading.
I mean, I watch the games. I mean, I'm not saying that because I actually read the stats. I watch more of the games than stats.
Right. So when you watch Paige play, you don't see a better player?
Yeah, I did watch her play.
Right. So do you see more like the more complete player 9 times out of 10 is the better player. Like you can't like if you're incomplete, it's going to be very hard for you to be better than what's complete. You get what I'm saying? Like if my hairline is incomplete and I'm balding and you got a full set of hair, if we both go to the barbershop to get a haircut, it's a very good chance your haircut go turn out better because you have a more complete set of hair.
Yo,
So,
bro, you're breaking up a little bit.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's like it's staticky. It's like it's giving like like 2004 robot sounds.
Oh, okay. Let me clear the line, man. I'll give you a call back then.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. But yeah, it's hard to be incomplete and be better than what's complete. You get what I'm saying? That's very hard. It's not impossible. It's because I think Shaq is not as complete player as like at his position. I think there was more complete centers. I think Hakeem was more complete 100%. But there's an argument to be had. There's an argument to be had that Shaq is a better player than Hakeem, maybe. Not in my opinion. I think Hakeem is better than Shaq. But there's an argument for Shaq over Hakeem, and Shaq is a more incomplete player than Hakeem. Caller from Kansas City was good. He hung up. Hey, Romeo D said that's an old flick, man, like 95. Yeah. Hey, look, and that validates my story. Go back and look what year that the WNBA went to Lifetime. I'm telling you, I watched Chasing the Dragon, and right after Chasing the Dragon, the game came on that was already jump ball. Caller was good. Oh, hold on. Caller, can you hear me? Caller. Yeah, phone acting up, y'all. I guess it happens sometimes. My device be overheating or something. I try one more time. If I can't get you in, then it's my device. Caller from Missouri, what's good? Yeah, he can't hear me. Yeah, hey y'all. So I'm gonna close the phone lines, man, because it seemed like my device is overheating or something, and now it's not taking the phone calls properly. So phone lines are closed, and we can get to the part where we end the show, y'all. But yeah, Hakeem is better than Shaq, but mainly because he's more complete, Sean. He's more complete, and Paige is a more complete player than CeCe. She's a more complete. I mean, right now, CeCe's game is, first of all, with a good defender in front of CeCe, everybody at the same time, say it, classroom, what is she going to need to be the good defender? A screen, right? She don't have the package to beat a good defender just by herself. The screen has to be involved. So she needs a high screen. She's in that same thing with Luka, Steve Nash, LeBron James, James Harden. I mean, even though James Harden do got that package one-on-one, but they gain the advantage for sure with that high screen, which is this illustration that I gave y'all last year, where you have those players that play hero ball, which means I always got the ball. I'm gonna make everything about me. We're not running the offense. We just gonna spread the floor. That's Jokic to a lesser degree because he's a post player. But for these ball handlers, these point guards and point forwards, LeBron, Westbrook, Harden, Caitlin Clark, and Luka on the left side, those are your best players that's going to have the ball in the middle of the floor, utilizing the high screen and roll so they can run full speed at the rim. And it's either going to be them getting a layup or them passing it out for a three. It's got, like, when you play that offense, you have to play 5-man out. And you have to have 3-point shooters almost at every position. All right, minus your screener. You can afford to have one 3-point shooter, but that's the person that's setting the screen and rolling to the basket. Everyone plays that offense, right? So these players that need that type of offense are very limited, right? They're limited. and they need the ball, right? And it actually enables your teammates, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is if they can't get downhill to get a layup, then they take a step back three. That's Luka, that's LeBron, that's Caitlin Clark, and that's James Harden. The only ones that don't play like that is because Westbrook isn't a good shooter. So it was all downhill for Westbrook. And then Jokic is not a point guard or point forward. He's a post player. So, but he plays that just from the post, right? So, so now it's either a step back three all the way to the rim for a layup or pass if you stop me from getting to the rim to the 3-point shooter, right? So that's the first incompletion and limitation. Then the mid range is all a mystery. They can't utilize it. They don't utilize it, right? Then on defense, they're definitely incomplete and a liability. I don't know what it is about the people who play this style of offense that also decides not to play defense, but I think it's because these type of players have a certain mindset, and for some reason they feel like if they're doing that much on offense, they should be able to not play defense. Right. So notice all the people on that list don't play defense. Or they didn't play defense when they played that style, because maybe Westbrook got to play defense to get on the floor now. But when he played this style at OKC, it was optional. Defense is also optional for LeBron. And a lot of their teammates play defense for them. Right. So, you hear about Jason Kidd saying we got to protect Luka on defense. Man, what the heck? They just named him a top 3 player in the league, and you got to protect him on the other end of the floor. That's 50% of the game. Right. So the hero ballers on the left, primary scorer, primary facilitator, rest on defense. That's what they do. And they have to have the ball. The team ball concept are the players on the right. Now notice, you got 1 ring for Jokic on the left and 3 rings for LeBron on the left. That's 4 rings. None for Westbrook, none for Harden. No NCAA championships or finals appearances for rings for Clark, and no rings for Luka. So you got 4. I can take the person with the less rings on the right that play team ball and defense, and they got more than 4. Kobe and Magic both got 5. Oh, Duncan got 5. So the least that one player has on the right side is 5, and that's more than all of the hero balls put together. Right? So, and picture that. But if we add them all up, 4 on the left, you got 6 with Kareem, 6 with Mike, that's 12. You got 5 with Magic, 5 with Kobe, that's 10. 10 plus 12 is 22. And then you got the 5 that Duncan got, that's 27 rings. 27 rings on the right with team ball concept. 4 rings on the left with hero ball concept. No defense on the left, defense on the right. Tim Duncan, Kobe, and Michael, I think they both got at least 9 all defensive teams to themselves. Kareem as well, all defensive team. The only one who don't have a lot of defensive teams is Magic. Right? So you got defense on the right, no defense on the left. You got team ball on the right, hero ball on the left. You got rings on the right, not that many rings on the left. But you know what they do got on the left? They got MVPs. You got 1 with Westbrook, 1 with Harden, 4 or 5 with LeBron, 3 with Jokic, and Luka is always in the discussion because he plays triple-double basketball, and we only respect numbers and points, rebounds, and assists in basketball all of a sudden, which is what Caitlin Clark has, which is why she's always going to be in the MVP discussion, and why people like my boy that just called in are going to always mistake what she's doing as far as production as being a better player than someone like Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers she's playing the type of basketball that's on the right. because she also plays defense. She also plays without the ball. She also can play with the ball. She can do ISO. She don't need a screen. She utilizes the mid-range. She even utilizes the post. She can come off screens and catch and shoot. And she can shoot the three. She does it all. So there's been 1 year in Caitlin Clark's life that she was better than Paige. And that was the year that Paige was fresh off of her ACL surgery, and she was kind of still recovering and a step slow. And the year that Caitlin was just on one and led her team to the finals and got smoked like some boots. She was better than Paige 1 year of her life. Remember, Paige was the one getting all the player of the years and the ESPY awards, female athlete of the year. Remember, she got up there and said that speech and said, we got to give black girls more love in this sport. I'm getting a lot of attention because I'm white. And after she said that, every white supporter she had disowned her, and all the attention went toward Caitlin after Angel Reese did the "You Can't See Me" sign on her after she smoked her boots and sent her home. Right? And if you look at the rookie numbers, all the Paige's rookie numbers is better than Caitlin's except assists. But Caitlin only was averaging one more assist than Paige as a rookie. I think Caitlin's number was like 17 points, 7 assists, and maybe 5 rebounds. And I think Paige is 17 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. And then Paige is shooting close to 40% from 3. And Caitlin was shooting around in the low 30s. Right. And then Paige was shooting better from free throw and everything. And then Caitlin was averaging 6 turnovers and Paige is only averaging 2 turnovers as a rookie. Like their rookie numbers are kind of identical, but the way Paige is getting hers with least amount of turnovers, with least amount of time dominating the ball, and least amount of turnovers. Did I say turnovers? And the better shooting percentage. All of that shows that she's a more complete player and more pro ready. And that's all I got to say about that. And that's all I got to say about that. Any questions? Oh man, you found about Paige late. That's because ESPN don't know what they're doing. Wait till everybody find out about Juju Watkins. Sheesh. And don't nobody hate Paige. Don't nobody hate Paige. She's loved. She's loved. She got a tech a couple of games ago, and the team that she was playing against was looking at the referees like, dang, why you give her a tech? The opponents was doing it. I ain't seen nobody daggone try to rough her up or beat her up. None of that. Ain't nobody quote unquote jealous of her. She had a 35-point game this year. It's insane, y'all. It's insane. But yeah, man, 4-hour stream, man. This is the longest I ever streamed, man. I don't think I'll ever do this again. 2.5 hours is all I need. Right. So sorry to keep y'all this long, but I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate the phone calls, the super chats, and the comments and the likes. We did get up to we had 420 likes right now. So I appreciate that too, y'all. Let's make sure we keep them lights up every time we go live. I stay on live as long as I can, as long as the lights is up. But thank y'all, man. I appreciate it, man. Peace.